drag races are 1,000 things, but one thing they're not is a drag.
Hello, this is George Romero. You're listening to East Coast Horror Group.
Well, hello. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's special day today. It's time for From Dusk Till Dawn Radio, our first ever episode. It's crazy. Just kidding. If you're confused right now and you looked at episode like 572 and you're like, why the fuck is he saying it's the first episode? It's because I wanted to mess with your head right now. But we're going to be your host today, the East Coast Horror Group. I'm Drew. With me, as always, none other than the great Mike Exler. What's up, Mike?
Oh, nothing. I like fun times, so that's why I'm here.
I like Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
It's a good movie.
With Phoebe Cates.
Yeah. Pretty attractive.
That's not what I meant. She's a great little actress. I don't know why I said little. That kind of sounded condescending.
Why do all girls gotta be little?
I don't know, dude. Why are you Harvey Weinstein?
Harvey Weinstein.
Yep.
So how long until the next thing happens that we stop talking about Harvey Weinstein?
Who?
Exactly.
Who'd that be?
Because you don't really hear much about the Vegas shooting anymore. It's like, well, that happened. So
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
I was just trying to make it awkward until someone shut it down. It didn't take long.
Let's talk about awful political occurrences as of late, or current events. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't thank Tim again for being such a gracious producer and helping us put this on every single day. Thanks so much, Tim. I really appreciate you.
You're welcome. And I'm out.
And you're a bitch.
It's not nice.
Thanks, everybody, for coming out and hanging out with us on YouTube. Appreciate that. Thanks for everybody who actually went to our site and gave us clicks and connected from there. We appreciate that as well. And of course, thanks for downloading this. We love you all. And next week, Mike will be doing the show naked. So be sure to have that'll be a special video episode and something you won't want to miss.
That's you're gonna have to go into the pay section. East Coast
That is
Group.
beyond a paywall. You're right.
East Coast Horror Group After Dark.
Oh no! Did we do a show after dark? Something after dark?
Dude, we did so many fucking shows. No idea.
What the fuck was after dark that we were doing? I don't remember.
I think the first show we ever did was Horror Business Radio.
I do remember that, and we talked to the editor of the fucking horror magazine.
Yeah, Fangoria.
Fangoria. Why did I not fucking remember that?
I don't know. He's not that anymore. I guess that magazine died.
Huh. It's weird. It's almost like people have the internet now.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. So we got a couple of things to talk about today.
Thanks.
First, we might as well talk about American Horror Story. What do you think?
Yeah, dude, that's a good jumping off point.
It's that time of year where American Horror Story is on, something we can talk about. So, every week, bring you, you know, our thoughts and opinions on the series because that's what everyone cares about, what we think.
At least we tell you that you care what we think.
No, we just say it, and if you want to hear it, then go ahead. And if not, then you don't have to. So.
That's true.
So, this past week on American Horror Story. Last time on American Horror. But things have culminated a little bit as in the group. So now it's guys against girls, basically.
With the twist.
But the twist is the old maid from the original one, some sort of a double agent.
Yep.
I don't know. Like, makes no sense to me. If that was all a lie, right? If the whole entire what was the point of the story?
I have no idea.
Why would you get Lena Dunham to do this role in a show that takes up a good 40 minutes of the television show if you were lying? Just to get them, you know, just to fucking, you know, gain their trust. I don't fucking understand it.
Yeah, I don't know. The Kai seems to. It seemed that she was working with him.
Oh, for sure.
So, like, it just seemed to me that it was a big test to see what it would take for them to sort of turn on him. Because if you think about it, he just eliminates people that are really not useful to him anymore. Right. So since he has become national, he doesn't need a local reporter anymore. He's got like a crew of people coming in, you know, crazy people from all over the country. So I don't know. I think he put a little test and they all failed pretty bad.
It was violent. I mean, I thought the last thing he said in the episode was they work a lot better when they're angry.
He did say that.
So I thought that made me think that he, you know, obviously orchestrated this with the intent of maybe getting them to the next level and being even more violent because, I mean, obviously you saw what they did, right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's weird how this guy thinks, so I have really no guess because I was not expecting him to look over and see her.
Well, no, because they just spent the whole episode telling a fucking lie on the air.
Dude,
I could have done that in 5 seconds.
I had to look up and see because I know zero about Andy Warhol, like zero.
Even though he's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So I had to look up and see if he was actually shot, and he was by that girl, and that girl was a
by Lena Dunham.
Yeah. Well, that's not her name. But whoever she was playing, yeah, she was batshit crazy, yo.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she did well. I'm not a huge fan of Lena Dunham. I don't like girls. I don't think it's funny. It's not because it's, you know, this feminist television show. I like lots of shows like that. But I don't think she's funny.
I don't think she did a good job at all. Like,
really?
I thought she was overacting quite a bit at parts, and it kind of took away from it. Like, she could have just been crazy and well spoken. She was just kind of like raving mad the entire time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious to see where this goes. But like I said, I thought they were going to go for like, you know, guy versus girl and have that whole thing. They're like, nope, we're working together. So it's all good.
How about when they killed that gay guy?
Yeah, right?
That's pretty,
It was real violent.
Pretty brutal.
It was. They have not shied away from violence in this season whatsoever. And I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, except for when they said they cut the scene of the shootout.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I did watch it on demand, so it wasn't really that graphic. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I watched it on my jailbroken Fire Stick.
Illegal.
It was on. It was on like 20 minutes after the show actually was done, so that was cool. Yeah, it was kind of uneventful because I said, you know, they spent the entire episode telling the story that you don't even know if it's a real story or not, or actually happened to her. I'm sure it obviously was a real story that this woman killed Andy Warhol, but the rest of the backstory about her being sort of like a female Charlie Manson, kind of a a women's rights activist slash, anarchist. So,
Well, she didn't kill him.
what do you mean?
She didn't kill Warhol. He survived the gunshot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's not alive anymore, is he?
Fuck no, he died. Long time ago. He's actually buried right in Upper St. Clair.
Figures.
You can go. Well, it's more Castle Shannon than Upper St. Clair. It's like on the border. It's right off of Library Road, but you can go there. They have a webcam up on there that's facing it at all times, so you can go look at it if you're far away. But it's just right down the street. But I'm not going.
You know what I think is a fun idea?
Let's do it.
You know what I think a fun idea would be? Let's go find a dead person and stand on top of their coffin.
Yeah,
Who cares?
I don't want to do it. Well, I'm not a big Warhol fan anyway. Even if I was,
I don't mean anybody.
No.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You're staring at a piece of fucking stone, engraved stone. What the fuck are you doing that for? There's a million ways you can remember him besides sitting on the ground in a fucking cemetery.
It's the tradition, yo.
Stupid fucking tradition. Set them all in a pyre in the fucking river.
Pyre?
Yeah,
What the fuck is a pyre?
like a like a burial pyre. Like they set it on fire and you go out to sea.
Oh, like Vikings?
Yeah,
It's very Nordic.
it is. Then you don't have to worry about disease. You don't have to worry about just taking up huge swaths of land and acres and acres and acres just to fill with fucking wood and decomposed humans. Fuck cemetery.
Fuck them. That and Red Box, man. Got no use for them around these parts.
That's what you can do. Instead of putting people in coffins in a cemetery, just fill fucking every red box with dead people so they can get the fuck out of here, dude. That's where I'm storing all my dead bodies now.
In the Red Box?
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't think they'll fit through that little slot.
Oh, you just gotta chop them up real quick.
Oh. Doesn't make any sense at all.
Chop them up, stick them in your DVD case. Then, just put it in there like you're returning it. You know what I mean?
You were cutting out a little bit, homie.
I think he might be having a battery issue.
Your mom's a battery issue.
Well, now it's working. There we go. All right. I'm out.
Pray for the mom.
Oh shit. So yeah, sorry about that. My headphones need charged. So that's what I'll do right now. I don't know if my mic sounds any different because now I'm talking through the computer's mic rather than the headphones mic. So.
It actually sounds pretty good there, Drew. So keep it up. Try not
Thanks,
to be
buddy.
too much of a douche, all right?
Damn it.
I'm
I don't know any other way, Tim.
I was never taught another way.
You're a towel. Oh shit. So yeah, I thought basically in summation, American Horror Story last week was pointless.
Yeah, it was a roundabout way of coming to the conclusion that, like you said, could have been done in maybe 5 or 10 minutes.
Because really, it was just a vehicle to show that woman was a bad guy. You could have done that in so many other ways that didn't take up, the entire show with characters that'll never be on the show again.
I don't know.
Oh, and Billy Eichner died. Fuck it, I'll spoil the shit out of it. I don't care today.
Who the hell's that?
The guy that killed at the end.
Oh, I didn't know his name.
From Billy on the Street
I don't know what that is.
and Difficult People.
No.
Come on, Mike.
I don't know which
Billy
movie.
Eichner train.
Sounds erotic.
I don't know. So you got any Halloween parties or anything coming up this weekend?
No, I don't have anything pretty exciting. But I do know one thing if you're in the Pittsburgh area, if you want to go check this out. I'm not, but
let's hear it.
There was a film shot here called Silence of the Lambs, and part of it was shot in Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall. And
Well, they stick more dead people, I guess.
I don't know what they do there. It's a museum of sorts. I know where it's at. I've driven past it many times. But it's there, and that's where they shot the cage scene, where they were holding Hannibal, and he ends up beating the cops to death and putting the one guy on top of the cage with...
I'm wearing the guy's face.
Yeah, wearing the face. So the cage will be set up, and everything will be set up like it was in the film, and you can go and hang out and have drinks. It's $10 to get into the door, cash bar. They'll have some hors d'oeuvres for you as well, and I guess you could just take your picture with the big old cage.
So you sit in a fucking room with a cage? You pay $10 for it?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So
Whoever thought of that needs to be drug into the road and fucking shot.
So you can Google Soldiers and Sailors, and all the information can be found there. But they're doing a special screening of it tomorrow night, and also the same event with, or no, that's Saturday night. I'm sorry. So just the event where you sit in the room with the cage is tomorrow night, and then on Saturday you can watch the movie with the cage. Maybe, I don't know. Have some popcorn with it.
Is Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster going to be there?
Already there.
Oh, really?
No, man.
No. I didn't think for a second that they were
not even close to being.
That would have been kind of exciting. But instead, I get to sit in a fucking room with 3 tons of steel. Fuck you.
Yeah, if even one of those two were there, I definitely would have gone. But to sit in, to fight Pittsburgh traffic on a Friday afternoon, we're a small city, but traffic blows hard. To go sit in a room with a cage, I'm good. But yet again, I'm not a big person on going to places that films were filmed at.
I mean, I was excited to go to the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I don't want to see I don't want to go to the scene where the one time that, Stanley Kubrick shot a fucking pass-by scene where there was traffic, on 14th Street in Nebraska. Like, who the fuck cares about that?
Yeah, dude. Some people do. And
why?
I have no idea. The douchebag Sean Clark fucking did a whole fucking show about it.
That guy needs to fucking kill himself.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's not my thing. It's cool if it's yours, but
it's not cool if it's yours. If it's yours, I still think you're a piece of shit.
You're just being mean.
Oh, you're right. I gotta calm it down a little bit.
Jeez.
Do you know what the best Halloween costume idea is this season?
I don't know. Tell me.
East Coast Horror Group t-shirts.
It's true. I was waiting for a bell.
You can do the, what I like to call the ECHG poo. Do you know what that means?
No.
It's when your Halloween costume is literally just an East Coast Horror Group t-shirt.
No pants.
No pants. No socks. No shoes.
Gutchies.
Stop. Never say gutchies, dude.
That's your gutchies.
Why?
Well, you gotta wear gutchies.
No, dude. You're not.
If you don't, your junk's gonna get caught in the zipper, and nobody.
No zipper, dude. No zipper. We're talking about the ECHD Pooh Bear.
I don't know what that is.
That's the costume that we're both wearing.
We are?
It's just an East Coast Horror Group t-shirt.
Our shit's just gonna be hanging out for everybody to see.
Yeah. No Gutchy. We're gonna be Gutchy-less, dude.
It's dumb when you say it like that.
A Gutchy. Without Gutch.
Sans Gutch.
Oh, fuck. What else we got going on? I went to the Moundsville Penitentiary haunt last weekend. It's the first haunt of the season I went to. It was average.
So this wasn't like a ghost tour. This was just
No, it was. I mean, it's supposed to be haunted, whatever. Because ghosts aren't real, that's fine. You want to say it's haunted and people believe you, make your money. But I mean, a lot of it was you had to stand in a hallway with your hands on your head for like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's fun.
But they did go in smaller groups, which I thought was cool. And that was, I think, part of it. They were timing it out right, so that you could go in a group of about 6 or 7 people, which was
Why do
cool.
you have to hold your hands above your head?
Yeah,
Why?
because that's what you have to do if you go to prison, right? And you're walking around.
Never been to prison. I have no idea.
I've never been to prison either. That's what you see on like World's Toughest Prisons or like My Day at San Quentin or whatever the fuck that show is.
I actually, guys, I hate to break in, but
I do too.
it is well known that Drew, you did go to jail the one time. Everybody
I had
knows
that expunged.
I had it expunged, sir.
That sounds dirty the way you say it.
I'd like to have your mom expunged all over my face.
Ooh.
And I'm out.
It's always fun. It always makes me happy.
Little piggy pose.
So there was one cool part of it. There was a little, well, not one cool part of it, but one of the things original that I saw there was while you were waiting, because you had to assign yourself a time prior because there was a little bus ride over to the place. But while you were waiting, you could pay like $5 and you go in here with a CO2 can and a gun full of paintballs, and there's guys dressed up as zombies. They're just kind of shimmying around, and you just pop them with paintballs for like 10 minutes, which was fun.
Savage.
Well, I'm trying to think of like big. They had, I mean, it was scale wise, it was big. Like they put you in a coffin at one point, which if you're claustrophobic would be terrifying, I'm sure. Made you go down like a little slide, and then you get out of there, and they put you in a potato sack and make you go down another slide. And at another point, they put you like in this boat, and they do this effect where there's a fog machine and like lights at a certain point, so it makes it look like water. So you go on this little boat that's on a track, and fuck you, Tim. So you get into a little boat and cross the water with the what is it? What's the guy that you put? Why you would put coins over your eyes back in the day was a superstition because you have to give those to the rowboat man. I don't know what the fuck they call it.
Thanos. Thanos. You give it to
Not Thanos, asshole. Pretty sure that's from Thor.
Oh, you didn't fall for it.
Like last week, you were trying to tell me I didn't know who Prometheus was.
Oh, you're killing me.
If only that were true, Tim.
Oh,
Only-
actually, it's like Thanatos or something like that. There was a Greek god of death that
Hades?
sounded like Thanos because it was featured. The boatman was featured in
Yeah. Good job. Thanks.
Clash of the Titans. No, that was it's Charon.
The football
is
movie?
the actual the boatman is called Charon, but the Greek god of death is like Thanatos or Thanatos or something, because I think Thanos actually came from that.
That's crazy.
I am throwing down the knowledge, baby. Throwing it down.
Did you say you were throwing down a baby?
Okay.
Throwing down a baby down a little tiny well.
Why is the well so tiny? Just throw him down a normal sized well, dude.
Hold on. I hold on. Everybody be quiet a second. I need to mark the tape. Okay, 26. There we go. I'm out.
Also, breaking news. Mike Exler was actually groped by Harvey Weinstein. Mike, do you want to tell us that story?
No,
Why?
hurts me.
So, I know when you interviewed Rose McGowan, it was tense at times. Did she talk about Harvey Weinstein at all during your interview?
No, she did not. She didn't mention it, but she doesn't like Hollywood. I know that.
Made her shave her head. I wouldn't like it either.
She has a lot of contempt. And, I mean, you know,
Do I?
sometimes things happen.
So she was kind of, I mean, not that she was the one that brought it to everyone's attention, but she'd been trying to get this to happen for a while. It seemed like she wanted something like this to break. Would you agree?
And I'm about to break.
Everything you say to me
Oh,
takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm gonna hang myself. Get it? Because that guy hung himself.
R.I.P.
Suicide is funny, apparently.
To some.
So what else do we want to talk about?
Funko decided to bring out new poop stick horror pops.
See, you call them poop stick. I call them absolutely adorable and great.
Totes adorbs.
Well, show's over.
What? Just
Don't ever say
asking.
topes adorbs.
Why?
It's funny that you're sick because every time you laugh now, you sound like an 85-year-old man.
I know. It's so funny, Mike, that you have a lung condition right now.
It makes me smile, dog.
I'm just so happy. But they look like poop. They finally do an NES Jason, and it looks like ass face.
How does it look like ass face?
It's just stupid blocks.
It's 8-bit, exactly like the fucking game was.
Dumb.
How was it dumb?
It's just
Okay,
dumb.
but I have to ask you a question. Of everything having to do with Friday the 13th, why would you ever want to remind anybody of the Friday the 13th 8-bit game on Nintendo? I mean, that had to be the low point of everything that ever happened with Jason, right?
If I was president, I would make every kid with a video game system play that game for a week straight, and that's it. Just to understand.
I think for a lot of people, like Mike said, our age, it is very nostalgic, and the color scheme of that Jason is the coolest, for sure, I think.
Yeah, dude, I'm real bummed that it came out 8-bit. Like, I would have loved just a normal one.
I'm out.
Did you get the Dorb that was that color?
Yeah.
Did you get it from Walgreens in Canton? Or Canton? Jesus
Yeah,
fucking
dude,
Christ.
drove to Canton.
In Crafton?
Yes.
Boom.
Craftown. I got an Enzo and cast there, too.
You're welcome.
Thanks, homie.
So, with these new 8-bit horror pops, there are variants of each character. The characters that are coming out for it are Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and a Xenomorph. Obviously, the standard versions all look like exactly what you would think they would look like. However, the variants are, as we discussed, NES colors, which would be purple and is it cyan? What the fuck is that other color? I don't really know.
Chartreuse.
Chartreuse and purple, which is cool. And the Freddy looks just like Nightmare on Elm Street 8-bit game as well. With
Wouldn't you
this-
call that second Jason the Frankenberry version of Jason?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same color scheme, isn't it? And then purple, weird. I'm out.
Looks like Minecraft. It's
Yeah.
like your favorite things is Minecraft.
But I'm okay with them sticking to things that were 8-bit, like Dig Dug. That was cool.
Yeah, I'll give you that. All right, I will give you that.
I don't ever recall a Aliens 8-bit game.
No, I don't think they had one.
No, I don't believe they did either. They definitely had one for Super Nintendo. I played that, but anyway, as the Freddy Krueger variant is, his sweater is orange and yellow rather than kind of like a red and black color. His skin's a little lighter as well, which I kind of stop whitewashing people, dude. What are you doing? Anyway, and the variant of the Xenomorph is bloody, just as every single Xenomorph variant has ever been.
It's always bloody. Green.
Right.
Acid.
Green acid blood.
It hurts.
YP.
So the acid doesn't hurt the Xenomorph? It's okay
No.
with-
Does your blood hurt you?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Hurts.
If you're bleeding and you put it on your fucking forehead, does it melt through?
Yeah, dude. It
You're a
starts.
fucking liar. I don't even know why I'm talking to you anymore.
Starts boiling.
So what? So you just don't like the look of them?
No, I don't.
Have you held one of the 8-bits? Like, did you look at one?
Oh, have I held one?
They're very heavy.
No, I have not held one. I have not even seen one in person.
Did you get the new FYE black and white Norman Bates?
Yeah, dude, I told you I did. And you were like, cool, welcome.
Yeah,
Because you sent me that link.
I got you, dog.
Yeah. Got that ish.
So you would rather them just re-release another variant of the same Jason Voorhees pop, except in chartreuse and purple?
Yes. You can have the 8-bit pop, too. True.
You know what else hypes the show? Whenever Tim's rates in the chat and then makes me read it and not say anything for a good 25 seconds.
Tim is helping.
Ralphie Wiggums. I am helping. You know who that is, right?
No.
Ralph Wiggums, dude.
I bet my Wookiee.
Fucking hate you.
What?
So I'm excited for. I think also the variants, which I had just assumed when you had sent me the link for that. I figured they were just chases. They are instead all GameStop exclusives. So you'll actually be able to buy them.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, right? It's something unheard of. So all the Jason and Freddy 8-bits are just GameStop exclusives?
Jason, Freddy, and Xenomorph.
Uh,
But yeah, the variant colors are all GameStop exclusives. They might be. You know what? I think I'm wrong. I think
son.
the Xenomorph is a previews exclusive, and then the other two are GameStop.
Oh, so there'll be 100,000 of them at FYE.
Right.
Sweet.
But I'm stoked.
Are you gonna get them all?
Yeah. All the variant ones. Yeah.
Even the Xenomorphs?
Of course, the Xenomorph.
But it doesn't have a fucking history of 8-bit.
Ask me if I give a fuck.
It's like having an 8-bit Batman.
Which they have in an 8-bit. Oh, well, you know what? They did have a NES Turtles game, so I guess that makes sense.
Wasn't there
Should they-
a game called Xenomorph? An 8-bit that was in the arcades? There were you could play 1 to 3 people? Am I remembering this right?
I have no idea.
It doesn't sound familiar to me.
I'm pretty sure there was one. I am going to ask our chat room to look into that for me so I don't have to look it up. But I'm almost positive there was one. I kind of remember liking it too. All right, I'm out.
Why isn't there a RoboCop 8-bit?
Was there RoboCop NES? I remember
Fuck
the
yeah.
Super E NES.
There was definitely a RoboCop because I have it in my little RoboCop shelf.
Huh.
And I am just looking. There was actually an 8-bit Batman game too. I have the NECA figure for it. So
So it looks like you're full of shit.
why?
Because you were bagging on Batman for having an 8-bit if they never had a game.
Yeah, it do. It do. I'll eat crow.
Speaking of RoboCop, I picked up a RoboCop today for 30 shipped.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so I'm pretty pumped about that.
I legitimately remember going into FYE and there being like what seemed to be like 30 RoboCops just sitting there with dust on them. It's just crazy. You never know what's gonna go up in value.
What else did I get? I got a. I've been picking up mystery minis just for fun to fill my card at the cave.
Yeah.
And I got a syringe fingers Freddy that was 1 in 72 chance.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's from the new series, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's how I filled up mine, was mostly with mystery minis.
And then I'll be in the Gold Club.
I'm already there.
So, you know what? Fuck it. So I was at the cave today. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to maybe they had a Grady Twins pop in. So I go there. And the things that are on the shelves are pretty much the same things that are on the shelves the last 4 times I went. But then, in a box, is a Grady Twins. Is, Cloud City 2-pack. Is every single pop I would want with somebody's name on it that says paid. Like, why don't you get pops that for people who come to your store that want to buy it? What the fuck do I do to make you get me a pop that's good?
That's I know why that is, but I can't say.
What do you mean?
It's a Gold Club secret.
Fuck you and fuck your gold.
See, you almost made
That's what
me
happens,
die.
asshole.
Yeah, those are raffle winnings. I actually entered a raffle for that Grady Twins too.
It said paid though.
Yeah.
The chat room updated me. It's called Xenophobe was the name of the game I was thinking of. It isn't Xenomorph, but it was called Xenophobe. And it was a lot of fun.
Is that when you have a fear of Xenos for really no good reason?
Yes. And Cheetos. There's one called Cheetophobe that came out at one point.
You're a liar?
And you played Chester Cheeto.
Man,
Yeah.
I love that.
That's not true.
But you're Drew.
Truth. Pound truth. I'm out.
He said pound instead of hashtags.
Enter the.
Oh man.
I'm too old for that hashtag stuff. I'm out.
Yeah.
Anyways. I could go on about that place, but I won't. But anyway, I mentioned the Grady Twins pops.
Yeah.
And they are hitting shelves now.
They sure are, sir.
And at places that are Target that I've never seen before. But you know, it's funny. There was a lot of hoopla about Target and how much they suck for Funko products. And it's so weird. Like in every single one of my Funko groups, that was basically the topic of the day every day: is how much Target sucks.
Yeah, dude.
And then today, it was like somehow Target just started raining amazing things on everyone. And if it wasn't for Rick showing that he actually got them, I would have written the conspiracy theory about that being Target PR move, and just showing pictures of people who aren't even real on Facebook getting good pops, or all of a sudden stocking great pops all the time because people caught on to the game of how shitty they are. But wasn't that really strange?
Yeah, dude, it was real weird. How they
People just supposed to be like, "Look what I got at Target today," and like 11 chases and a Grady's twin. I'm like, what? What is this?
There were a ton of chases got today.
I found 7 Pennywise in my fucking Target today. Guess what? I bought every single one of them too.
Fuck yeah.
Because I'm an asshole. Anyways.
If you saw 7 Pennywises at a store chases, would you leave them there?
I would buy one.
I would probably buy 2. I'm not gonna lie.
And it wouldn't be to make money on it. It'd be for trade bait for something I actually want.
Dude, trading sucks.
Really?
I can't fucking... Like, I did a couple trades early on.
Right.
But now, man, people don't want to pay for what shit's worth. And that's why I don't really go for value. I just kind of go for what I like. Because it's cool that you have all that value, but getting rid of them has always been tough. But the Grady twins, that one's already going for like 80, the common.
Yeah.
And Funko did say that it is 1 in 36 on the chase.
Yeah.
So
that's going for about 400 right now.
Yeah. I saw it at 450 the last time I looked at PPG.
Which did you see the post from the Destiny Crota Chase fucking pops like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
one went for like $1,500.
Fucking stupid, right?
What the fuck? Who would pay over $1,000 for a piece of plastic?
A lot of people.
Yeah. I want their money.
They got all that fuck money, dude.
That's Funko money, dude. Boom.
But I just saw before the show started, so I couldn't put it in the app. But
That's what you said.
that apparently in November, November 12th, I think, it said Toys R Us is going to have an exclusive their giraffe Funko.
Jeffrey the giraffe?
Yes.
Sweet, there's something else going to sit on the shelf for 12 years.
No, but they see this is their marketing. They have that Funko headquarters in
Seattle or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in so many of them throughout the country, there are 2 tickets to go to the Funko headquarters, and they're like golden tickets, they're calling them.
Do you get free pops, or do you just get to go to Seattle and walk around a store?
Just go there.
Seems fucking stupid.
You get a ride on the glass elevator of love. So there's going to be a lot of people scrambling.
Why would you want to go there?
I don't know. I don't really.
What is special? I mean, that's the thing. I'm completely ignorant about it. I assumed it was just a store with a lot of Funko stuff in it. Is there something more to it?
Not that I know of. That's what I'm pretty sure it is.
I mean, I guess if I came across the pop and they were going to give me 2 free tickets to Seattle with travel expenses all paid for, sure, that'd be cool. I'd take it. But it's not like, holy fuck, I have to go find it out because I could never afford 2 plane tickets to Washington. Like, what?
Yeah, dude. You can go to, I bet you can go to Toys R Us and just watch people go fucking nuts over that shit.
I don't get it. But did we talk about this on the show before? The new Toys R Us business model? Because of their bankruptcy and stuff?
Mm-mm.
They're basically going to turn into like a specialty store, almost like a comic store for action figures and stuff, and have more high-end things and more harder to find stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So they're going to move in that direction because they realize that there's probably more money from selling, one $200 figure than there is for 100 copies of Everybody Poops or whatever the fuck they have when babies are on.
Everybody poops, dog.
Anyway, but seriously, I usually go to Target or wherever to buy toys for nieces or some kind of fucking stupid party for a baby I'm invited to. I'm really in a great mood today, as you can tell.
Stupid children in life.
But I don't think I ever go to Toys R Us. The only reason I ever go to Toys R Us is, well, A, maybe not anymore, but that's always the place to get a video game on launch day if you really want it and you didn't pre-order it, because nobody goes to Toys R Us, well, period, but nobody goes to Toys R Us for video games. So
Their slogan.
that was always my hidden secret from Toys R Us if you wanted a video game, was just to go there on launch day, and they'll have 6 of them because nobody goes there. But I'm excited to see once they change it around and drop the stupid Babies R Us shit and kind of get some cool stuff in there. Because there's that section for, adults who like cool shit that's in Toys R Us, like where they have, NECA figures of horror and stuff, all these different cool shit.
It's always hidden in the fucking back.
Yeah. It's like, hey, it's like the porn
It
of
is.
Toys R Us. It's like you walk into that section and the bing bong. You gotta show your ID.
They literally could not make it harder to find.
I know, right? And they move it too all the time. Then last time I went to Toys R Us at Robinson, I was like, I had to ask a guy, I'm like, you used to have a little section here for nerdy adults. Like, where did it go? And then he had to point me to it. And I hate how they, with Pops, instead of just putting all the Pops in one section, you have to, like, go to the Power Rangers to find the Power Rangers Pops.
Yep.
Go to the fucking wrestling toys to find the wrestling Pops. Like, well, fuck you, man.
And then they have those, like, shelves, those 3 shelves that are just, like, 10 Pops deep and long as shit. And they're like,
Yeah.
Here, have at it. Like, oh, great.
And then they'll just have a random, like, fucking, what do you call the things on the end of an aisle? End cap. With nothing but Dorbs. But you have to find it. It's like a fucking guessing game every time you go in there.
Are they adorbs?
Totes.
Totes Adorbs.
I'm out.
And then for the East Coast, for the New York Comic Con figures, they put those just randomly, like with fucking Despicable Me stuff. I'm like, why are they here? Anyway, their stocking system is awful. I mean, obviously they're going bankrupt. They had to make a major change. So all these things are, I'm screaming into the wind here. So pissing into the wind. Jesus Christ, Drew.
Screaming
Screaming in the wind, dude. That's my new single.
It'll be a number 1 seller.
It's just me during a hurricane screaming.
I would buy it.
Fuck. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Days of the Dead Chicago. What do you think?
What do I think?
You want to talk about that?
Oh, they just added a Hall of Fame. I guess they're doing Alive and a Dead like they have been. And the Alive inductee is Bill Moseley. So I think that's really fitting.
Yeah.
And the posthumously...
It's John Benet Ramsey.
She's not gonna be that. Angus Shrimp.
Yeah, Jean Benet, great job.
Well deserving. As
all the work
always.
you did in Toddlers and Tiaras before your dad killed you and raped you or something. That they never came out. They never actually found out who killed that girl, huh?
I don't think so.
The theory was that it was the brother, and then Cyril Recht, who
Cyril Recht was all about it.
Yeah, he was like, it's definitely your brother. So, I don't know. I believe Cyril.
It's hard not to.
It's true.
It's hard to live without Cyril.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Ooh.
Awful.
You're welcome.
You owe everybody listening $1 now.
It's true. I should pay you guys to hear me sing It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday by, of course, R&B supergroup Boys to Men.
Supergroup.
think the last time I actually bought tickets to a Pirates game was just because they were going to be there after the Pirates played. Anyways, so now what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. The Funko Pop thing.
You actually mentioned the posthumous inductee.
What?
We said it was Jean-Benet Ramsey, but I don't think we actually said who the actual inductee was.
Yeah, I said Angus Scrimm.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. The tall man himself.
We saw him. He was dead last time we saw him.
Really? Oh.
Do you remember the last time we interviewed him? He was like, I'm not even trying to walk on the stage. You guys got to put seats on the ground.
Both times we did, we had to put
Oh,
seats
shit,
on
you're
the
right, you're right, you're right.
He was old.
Meanwhile, the 2,000-year-old Japanese man was like, fuck it, I'm getting on the stage. I'll kill everybody.
With my oxygen, get the fuck out the way.
That cat literally died 15 minutes after that. He still got on the stage.
Yep.
Anyway. I don't know why. Who would win in a fight? Haru Nakajima or Angus Scrimm?
I don't know. It's a
You have
theoretical.
to make a guess, dude. Celebrity Deathmatch. Haru Nakajima, Angus Scrimm, go.
Nakajima.
That's who I'm taking to. But I mean, you know Angus Scrimm has those weird powers that they get whenever you're born in England?
It's good because he's not born in England. It's totally British, man. No.
He's a Brit. On the inside.
Oh, on a serious tip, I was talking to Adolfo, and he was saying that Sean Astin's people were saying that they'll do the panel, but if anybody's a ginger, he won't work with them.
He's literally a ginger himself.
He's a self-hater.
Fuck you. I thought you were going to say no Lord of the Rings questions. I was literally just going to sign off and jump off the fucking roof.
Oh, God, if I had only known.
Like, you know what? Fuck it. No reason to live. Guy, see you guys.
No Frodo questions.
He wasn't Frodo, asshole.
No, they were lovers.
No! Fuck
Yeah,
you.
I saw the end.
You're dead to me.
There was some man connection there.
Sure.
A man-nection.
Whatever, dude. If we went across all of fucking Middle Earth, somehow got into Mordor, and then threw a ring into Mount Doom, you can fuck me if you want to. I don't care.
That's awful. It's the last thing I would want to do.
We can fuck on the back of an eagle as it takes us back to the Shire, dude.
Nope. None of that would happen. It's like a fucking terrible ending to a James Bond movie. Like, you lose. Ugh.
Ugh. Fuck. So, do you want to talk about this? Would you rather talk about the video game thing, which you can't really talk about that much, which sucks, or this top 10 underrated horror movies? I want to talk about that a little bit because there's some movies on here that are not underrated at all. So let's talk shit on that.
I was looking at some of them, and I knew you were going to say that.
1408 is number 1 on the top 10 most underrated horror movies by Salon, who obviously one of the pinnacles of horror media, Salon Entertainment Magazine. So what? 1408. I remember being it's so not memorable is the thing, is what I'm saying. I know I've seen it. Could I recall who's in it? No. Was John Cusack in it?
Yes, John Cusack and Samuel Jackson, I believe.
Yeah.
If memory serves.
Yeah, I actually like the movie.
I don't remember anything about it.
I don't know. He was a writer that wrote this awesome movie or awesome book, and
He was a Stephen King surrogate, basically, type of character.
yeah, and he was spending all this time at these haunted locations and writing about it, and nothing was ever haunted. And he goes to the hotel, and Samuel L. Jackson implores him not to go and stay in this room. and tells him why, and he decides to do it anyway, and it turns out that it is actually haunted.
Haunted as fuck is what it turns out to be.
Yeah, like
Haunted AF.
fucking right. And it's a bad deal, so that's what that movie's about. It was good. I liked it. I don't know if it's one that needs to be mentioned in every, like, this is a must-see, like
No.
The Exorcist and 1408. No, I don't think that.
I would say it does fall under underrated. I would say it falls under underrated. Not enough people know about it, but I don't think it's great.
Oh, it's I enjoyed it. Drew hates it.
I just fucking hate John Cusack too.
He'll be at Monster Mania if you want to go meet him.
He's gonna be at Steel City Con too.
He
And
is.
Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss, Tim.
I've heard of this gentleman.
He's in a movie that you like called Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Right.
Mr. Holland's Opus, another one of your favorites though.
It is.
Red.
Also, just YouTube videos of him being drunk by himself in his room, pissing himself.
Always good.
So number 2 on the list of the top 10, Salon's top 10 most underrated horror films of all
It's a
time.
salon, anyway. Is this a...
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a website that does a lot of shit. A lot of lists and that sort of thing.
The movie that no one's ever heard of before, The Blob,
The 1998 remake.
1988 remake.
88. 88 keys.
It was directed by Frank Darabont. Obviously, Frank Darabont is a great director. But it's The Blob. What are you talking about? Just a big... It's literally a big fucking mass of gelatin.
I don't know that I think it's underrated either. I think a lot of people know about it.
Yeah, I don't think that's one that you mentioned, and people are like, no, I don't.
The Blob, what's that?
That never happens. That never happens.
I mean, didn't we read that Rob Zombie wanted to try to get the rights to that movie?
Yeah. Yeah, he
That would have
was...
been interesting.
That was a rumor for a while. I don't know. I liked it for what it was, and I think a lot of people know what it is, so this list sucks already. Like,
Oh, wait.
what is the
Oh, wait. It gets worse.
number
One
3?
really
I've
makes
never...
me angry.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Number 3, I've never heard of it.
Dagon?
Yep, never heard of it.
Me neither.
I had to search for this one picture. And it's literally the only picture I found. I thought it was Big Trouble in Little China.
Huh?
That's
Looks
racist.
like it. It's a movie. Kurt Russell.
Keep going.
Roadhouse?
Yes. So I can't say anything about that movie. Number 4 is The Final.
Yeah, which is hopefully the final time we ever to mention that again.
Don't know.
Ooh.
Look at that. He's got a gas mask on. Is that Dark Man in the background?
That's racist.
That's also a movie.
His skin disappears after what, 88 minutes in the sun or something?
Yeah, it just
Dark Man?
bubbles off.
Yeah. Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson is the shit. Did I ever tell you about the guy who tried to sell me a bootleg copy of Taken back when it first came out?
Oh.
There's a guy selling bootlegs outside of the store in Youngstown. And he's like, yo, I got Taken right here, $5. I'm like, oh, no, I saw it, thanks, man. He's like, oh, dude, no, here, I'll give it to you. White people love Liam Neeson. And I'm just like, I can't refute that, dude. I do love Liam Neeson. He's pretty good. Anyway.
My
That's
brother
all
absolutely hates Liam Neeson. It's kind of like I have a thing that I hate Richard Gere. I cannot watch movies with Richard Gere. My brother's like that with Liam Neeson, and he loves the movie Leap of Faith. And every time Liam Neeson is on, he gets physically angry. He just can't stand him. It's
Sounds like
great.
me and John Cusack.
Yeah, yeah,
You guys are some angry motherfuckers.
yep.
Tim and Mike, who's your person that you hate more than anyone for really no reason at all?
Oh, Gere. Richard Gere. I absolutely hate him. And there are movies I like that he's done, but I hate him.
What do you think about the Mothman Prophecy?
That's a good movie.
I don't see movies with the word Mothman in it.
Oh, Jesus.
Mothman.
No legs.
Keep going on the list, because I'm ready for this.
So, the next one is one of the most underrated films of all time, Halloween 3. First of all, fuck you. You've never looked or talked to anyone who's ever watched horror movies before, because everybody knows what the fuck this movie is. And it's one of those movies that you either like it or hate it. Yeah. Everyone knows that Halloween 3 is the Halloween without Michael Myers.
Yep. And I know there's people out there that hate it just because of that reason alone. And that's what we call stupid.
Yeah, it's a standalone film. It's good.
I like it. I think it's great. Nice.
There's really nothing to say. Nothing bad to say about it.
Not for me. I dug it. It's got Tom Atkins in it.
It does.
And he rules.
He's a cool dude.
His bumper makes you go a little moist.
Oh God. Next.
Don't ever say moist again. So why you would say that Halloween 3 is who? It's obvious that you're just out of touch with these horror films, that you kind of probably just had a list of horror films and had some random generator pick 5 out. Is what it seems
Honest
like.
to God, I was wondering the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. Or were they asking people that around the office that never watch horror movies? Hey, have you heard of this movie? Oh, it must be underrated.
And the next one comes from another one of the top horror franchises of all time, Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, I think if anybody would know a title of a Jason movie, this one would probably be it.
I really like this one. I think it's one of the better ones.
You want to hear some? I've never seen it.
Really?
I am making my way through the Friday the 13th. I'm up to number 5, which Mike has just got me totally psyched up to want to see.
I just actually rewatched that on Friday the 13th. Did the Jarvis trilogy, and God, it's so bad. And
I really don't need to hear you keep saying that, because I may never watch it. I'm not a big fan of Friday the 13th to begin with, and you're like, yeah, it's terrible. And I'm like, oh my God, if he hates it, what the hell am I gonna do?
Yeah, I immediately realized after watching it of why I don't like that movie at all.
And everybody tells me, oh, 4th is the best, and I was like, I came away from it going, it's okay. So I am not enthused to go see 5. But
just rip it off like a Band-Aid.
All right. What was the next one?
The next one is, well, I'm going to say Jason Goes to Hell for me was the first Friday the 13th where the effects were any good. Not to say that Tom Savini's effects weren't great, but it was, the early 80s. This is the first one where I could relate and that looks kind of real to me.
Okay.
Anyway, that's why I think I enjoyed that one so much. Plus, they blew him up with a rocket launcher in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Spoiler.
The next one, I don't know if this is underrated or not. Of the 2 of the Grindhouse trilogy, this one would, I think, be the one that is most recognized.
Yeah.
Planet Terror?
I think it would have been the other way around.
Right.
Yeah. I could see you saying that Death Proof would be underrated, but everyone pretty much agrees that Planet Terror was good.
You know what I think it's based on? People don't know that. They know Grindhouse.
Yeah. It's 2 of the biggest directors in Hollywood. It's so underrated.
Yeah. Now, if they want to say,
who are they?
If they want to say movies that didn't do well on their initial run, meaning underrated, yeah, Grindhouse underperformed. And by the way, who produced Grindhouse?
The Weinstein Company.
You got it.
who produced every movie within the past 35 years.
So you can now legitimately not like any movie.
I think did Weinstein do all of Quentin Tarantino's movies?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm almost positive.
Except
I
for
know he
Baby.
did all the Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah, did you see what Smith's doing?
He donated something to something.
Yeah, he's donating all his residuals to women.
Well,
Sure.
that's just stupid. That's just stupid.
For
they're
me,
separate
if you
things.
would do it and not say anything, then that's legit. But why you have to make a fucking press release?
Yeah, well, that's somebody trying to get stink off of them. That nobody was claiming that Kevin Smith was horn dogging.
Kevin Smith.
That's just okay. Go on. What was the next one?
Or was he prairie dogging? No, I mean, I'm not going to say it's stupid to donate to a charity, but anyway. Stung.
I don't know what it is.
I have seen this.
I believe it's just an indie horror movie about huge bees or something, right?
No, it's a bug that's kind of like a bee that stings a person, and it basically becomes the movie The Fly. She slowly becomes this insect, but a giant.
That sounds
version
actually
of
kind
it.
of cool.
I would say on that list, it's probably one that I would agree is an underrated horror movie. It's underrated, though, for good reason, because the acting is pretty bad. The effects are great. It's gross as hell. The story's good, but some of the acting is laughably bad. And it's kind of hard to get past that sometimes.
Really? Is it American?
Yeah, I think it was.
Jingle see IoT.
Yeah, it
Oh,
definitely
definitely.
it wasn't subtitled or anything like that. It's it's a good movie. I don't know that I'm gonna be watching it again. Where some of these movies I watch over and over, this is not one where I'm like, ooh, I gotta watch it again. Nah.
Exactly. How many times have you seen August Underground Mortem by now?
11 billion times.
What was next on the list?
Number 9, the movie no one's ever heard of before, Trick or Treat.
Is that the one that stole the graphical art from Mr. Hush?
Yes.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yes. Certainly did.
Okay, now that one I can tell you because I have friends that I consider the general population. I have friends that ask me what's a good Halloween movie, and this is my go-to movie to send them to if they haven't seen it. And there are a lot of people that still have not seen this movie.
Yeah, it's really good too.
Yeah.
It's really good. It just disappeared so quickly when it came out, and I would say among the general population, it's still relatively unknown.
Right, and I think that's the word for it. Unknown, not underrated.
Yeah, I don't think it's underrated. I think it's undiscovered.
You've seen it. People
maybe.
agree that it's good.
Yeah,
But yes, you're right. It might be unknown to most.
right. And then the last one, I think there's one more, right?
Yeah, the last one is Would You Rather. And I'm not sure if this is the one I saw with Sasha Grey in it or not.
Ew.
There have to be 7 different movies called Would You Rather. There was one that what the hell's her name? She comes to Days of the Dead sometimes. I met her in Chicago. She does that podcast Scream Queen scene or something like that. What the hell is her
Tiffany
name?
Shepis.
No, it's not her.
John Benet Ramsey.
She pals around with Heather Dorff. I'm trying to remember her name.
I think her name's Jessica something.
Jessica
Cameron.
That's it. Yes. And
Is this the
she
one, though? Is that the one?
directed no. And she directed a movie called Would You Rather.
I want to see if this is the one with Sasha Grey and then the dad from Home Alone.
He died.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm just saying. Can't refute that fact.
I hate you.
What? It's a true story.
So yeah, the 2012 film, if that's what it is, has says "Would you rather?" The Metascore is 20. I watched it. It wasn't bad. Again, wouldn't say it was underrated.
Okay, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but what would you consider an underrated horror movie?
Horror movie. Let me see.
No,
here.
comedy.
Underrated horror movie would be. American Psycho, maybe? I don't know.
I'm leaning toward Jaws. No, I'm kidding.
That's a good question.
I think The Descent is underrated.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's an excellent choice. And from the same director, Dog Soldiers, I think is very underrated.
It's one of the few werewolf movies that I like.
Yeah, I think that's a really good movie. Actually, I think The Howling, the original The Howling, and I'll tell you what I base it on. When it first came out, everybody was, oh my god, what a great movie. And then they made about 10,000 terrible sequels. So it's not cool to like the original The Howling anymore. But that first movie was actually pretty damn good. And I'll defend that. I thought the first movie was very, very good. And I think making all those sequels actually hurt that brand name to a huge, huge degree.
Yeah, the second one was garbage.
I can't think of any of the sequels that was
It's
worth
like My Sister's
anything.
a Werewolf.
Is that the one with Sybil Danning? Was in
Yeah.
the second one? Yeah.
Sure, you remember Sybil Danning. She was on our show.
Oh yeah. She's the girl, like basically Fillmore Schwarzenegger in the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah, and she was in one of my favorite sci-fi movies. You want to talk about a underrated film, Battle Beyond the Stars. Have you ever seen that one?
Nope.
Oh, you got to check it out. It's basically the Magnificent Seven in outer space. And there's like a space cowboy. It's total cheese. It was made by Roger Corman in the 80s. It was definitely trying to rip off Star Wars. But what it's most known for these days by film buffs is the special effects were done by a very young James Cameron before he went on to make Terminator and all of his other films.
Titanic.
So yeah, if you get a chance, Battle Beyond the Stars, that is an underrated sci-fi movie. It's not a horror movie. But you got to go find that one. I just love that movie. And I'll tell you what time frame it was. It was like early 80s. Because after I saw that movie, I went out and I bought the Viewmaster of it. Do you know what Viewmasters were?
The thing I would look at in a kid and it would push the little thing down and it would show me a new picture.
Right. And it was like in 3D. So, it was so cool. And
Yeah.
I had the Viewmaster of that movie. Which, that's just super nerdy, but I enjoyed it. I gotta find those things. I still have like 1,000 of them somewhere. Viewmasters used to be back in like the late 70s. Yeah, basically the late 70s, maybe into the early 80s. That was one of my favorite toys. I was constantly using that thing.
Is that like a kaleidoscope?
No, it basically it's a stereo, a stereo viewer of photos, and what I mean by that is you would put it was this round disc that you would place into the viewer. It looked like binoculars. You would hold it up to the light, and it had one picture in one eye and one picture in the other eye, and it did a 3D effect. So they used to do stuff like they would have Huckleberry Hound, which was a cartoon. But because a cartoon would look lame, they would actually go out and make models of 7 little sequences from a cartoon, and they would shoot it in 3D, these little pictures of statues, and they would have a storyline that you could look up in this window, and it would give you a title for each picture that you looked at. I'm surprised these days that is not something that's super collectible, because they had Star Wars, they had all the stuff that was big at that time. Like here, Battle Beyond the Stars. This was not a big movie, but it had a Viewmaster. And I'm just surprised it never became real collectible. I think they still make them too.
So, like a kaleidoscope.
No, I'm out.
It's just like a kaleidoscope, Mike. Yeah, you're right.
Sweet.
I was thinking, as far as underrated horror films, Ghost Ship.
The first scene, though, is good.
I've never seen that. Is that the one with Jamie Lee Curtis was in there, or Sigourney Weaver?
Gabriel Byrne.
Neither of those. Juliana Margulies.
Oh, I'm thinking of like Virus or something like that. Yeah, I don't know that I've seen Ghost Ship. I'm gonna add that to the old list.
It's pretty
The
good.
Hills Run Red.
That movie's real good.
So I had to look through horror movies that like had bad ratings, so I could literally say underrated. Those were two that popped into my mind, or that popped up in the list.
The Hills That Run Red. I've never
The Hills
seen
Run
it.
Red.
The Hills Run Red and Ghost Ship. Adding them to the queue.
I bet you've seen The Hills Run Red before.
You know what? I have to see the poster art or something.
William
maybe.
Sadler's in it. The villain is like has a baby doll face sewn on his
Oh,
own face.
yes, I did see that. Yes, I did see that. That was a good one. Yes. Okay.
Anyways.
Well, then
Those
I
are
don't
couple-
have to see that one. But Ghost Ship, I'm pretty sure I didn't see that.
And I like the Black Christmas remake with Lacey Chabert and
That's not bad. That is
Yeah.
not a bad. Ooh, I just found a great picture for Hills Run Red. I gotta
I
put
never
that up.
saw
on this.
Black Christmas.
really, and Michelle Trachtenberg, Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
There you go, gang.
It's good. I don't like. I have a thing with like if you poke somebody's eye out, it freaks me out a little bit. This guy loves to poke people's eyeballs out, so I think maybe it had a little more of an impact on me than it would for most. But it got a 4.5 on IMDb. So
When the hills run red, you better be ready.
fuck you.
What?
Well, that concludes another episode of Mike Sings the Blues.
He did have a great song earlier in today's show. He really did. And he should
Whenever
be
he's saying
commended
"It's So
for
Hard
that.
to Say Goodbye to Yesterday" from R&B supergroup Boys to Men.
Jeez. All right.
Never a supergroup.
I'm out.
Anyways, thanks for listening to us ramble on again this week. I had fun. Hope you guys did too. Remember to like and subscribe on the YouTube page. And join us again next week for another wonderful, amazing, out of this world episode of From Dusk Till Dawn Radio.
Bobbity.
We can find all the conscripts and culture that your stomach can handle.
Split it open.
And fuck it.
You know what else I'll split open?
What's that? Like a watermelon?
Yep. A cantaloupe.
A honeydew, in fact?
Maybe a babalupe.
Well, that's not a real word. So good job with that. Just said Babalupe.
East Coast Horror.
So dumb. Ugh. Babalupe.
Stuff's the shit, yo.
If you make a new character named Bob Alupe,